Hey guys, how you doing? Burger Podcast Friday. I'll tell you, I'm not doing music today. I'm not doing my hair today. Look at this shit. It's insane, right? Holy hairdos. Um, I'm telling you, this hairdo is early '80s Italian, like Sicilian Italian type. Yeah, where you cared. Like yeah. So hold on. There I am admitting it. Yeah. Okay, so let me do this. Watch. Let me pop this through real quick, okay? I do my little thing. I'm glad nobody's here yet. Glad to see nobody. Um, I posted something which I'm sure made some people mad. I post things all the time that make people mad. Um, my feeling is, and follow me on this, I'm never trying to make anyone mad. My intent is not to shock, nor is it to. My intent is never to shock. It's not to surprise or be outlandish. My intent is to question, is to research, is to wonder kind of about everything. I always way to do that super quiet, baby. I'm just kidding. I've been picking on her all day today. Um, I went to the laundry room for the first time in months. I've been having my kids take the laundry to my first exes and doing it. I pay them, but yeah, so I was having them do that, right? Who's here? Hey, Tom, what's up, buddy? Okay, so so I write things that bother some people and it's not, but the fact is, I question, I wonder. I think a lot of us do. Now, speaking of, here's one of my questions is, so this is who's speaking up for the black community. My daughter asked me, "Hey, Raylene, how you doing?" My youngest daughter, who's black and Haitian and African, um, where the black community was. She said, "Dad, where's the black community?" I go, "No, it's it means the culminate like the total of black people, but that's the problem in that the community is made up of all of us, and we're all part of this community in that sense. And so I don't know, I was trying to explain to her, and I'm really lost what to tell my kid. And I was saying that the other day when I was talking about what are we telling, like what are like parents who are mixed race families and have mixed race kids. What are we telling them? And the other thing is, are the black people that are involved in this whole movement, are they okay with the news showing about 75 times, I think I counted, the blonde haired girl on Vine in Hollywood going, no peace, no justice, no peace. We're sick of it. What are you sick of? And I'm not going to call her some dumb name based on white people, just her in particular, that girl. I'm sorry. I am going to question what she's sick of. What has she ever been judged on? She was this adorable little blonde girl. My own daughter, my oldest daughter, is an adorable little blonde girl. She told me that, what are you fucking talking about? What do you mean no justice? All you've ever had is justice. All the justice in the world has always been geared toward the best looking white woman. I mean, let's be honest. White men only wanted power to be able to be with the best looking woman, if you think about it, right? So it's always been based in that. So her justice, she's always had justice in that sense, just like the white man. has pretty much always had justice. The white man with money, with property. And so, okay, so my point being, are these really, you have Gavin Newsom here, whose family originated in crime, got into politics and then law. Eric Garcetti here with Joe Biden. Now, again, for the black people thinking of voting for Joe Biden, keep in mind the multitude of things he said out of his own mouth. When I heard Trump today say that he thinks that George Floyd is looking down and happy about the economy, I wanted to kick Trump in the fucking nuts. I thought, oh my God, could you have been a bigger twat? And could you have been a bigger Gavin Newsom or Al Sharpton? Could you have been a bigger one of or them? I mean, that was no different than, I shit when Trump said that. I was like, no, I mean, I fucking broke up laughing. I go, oh my fucking God, did he just fucking say that? This dude has no concept, no filter whatsoever. I mean, but good, and holy shit. Again, I have never acted like Trump wasn't some old white guy. Trump is an old white guy. Yeah, no. Trump's an old white guy. What did he say then? He said George Floyd is looking down and happy about the economy. Hold on. I'll get exactly what the fuck he said. Hold on. God damn it. I hate him. What did Trump just say about George Floyd and the economy? Yeah, let me just, come on. Hold on. It's coming up right now. Okay. Hopefully George is looking down and saying, this is a great thing that's happening for our country. It's a great day for him. It's a great day for everybody. When he said, which exceeded the economists' expectations. Yeah, it was insane. I mean, come on. This is the thing. The problem with the world is the right has to be the right and the left have to be the left. And nobody can just stop. No, he wasn't talking about in terms of equality. He was talking about the economy. It's okay. I don't hate Trump. It was just a jackass thing to say. If we can't step back and say, oh, that was a jackass thing to say. He was talking about the economy. His whole conversation was about the economy. And he said it basically, he said, he's looking down and thinks it's a great thing. That's what he was talking about. It's fine. It's not that big. I read it. Jesus. Jack, I love you, buddy. But God damn it, bro. I love that. But see, what you just did was you said, keep reading Jackass. You should have said, signed every left liberal in the world. Because I love you. But why Jackass? How about just keep reading? But that's okay. If the liberal in you had to come out and say Jackass, Jack, ass. Hold on. Yeah, I'm reading, bro. I'm reading. Which exceeded, okay. Trump said during a White House garden event before the signing piece of legislation devoted, this is a great day in terms of equality. Trump added, Floyd's death in police custody has sparked massive, mostly peaceful protests across the country. Despite the arrests of all 4 officers involved, protests have continued over issues of systematic racism and brutality. Yeah. I'm looking at it and I'm just seeing, again, it's no big deal. Hey, Jack, I make a perfect journalist. You make a perfect leftist. As I'm saying, if someone doesn't agree with you, call them names. It's the only thing that works. It's out of the leftist handbook. If they don't agree, you got to call them names and tell them they're wrong. But that's okay. I love you still. I love you all the same, Jack, even though you get to book me on a show. I'm just kidding. No. But Yeah, but yeah. I mean, that's the whole point, though. Yeah, totally. It's just, I know, ain't that a bitch? I know, and then make the crying things. Then what the leftists do is they make other emojis. Same idea, though. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what I'm saying. The reason I'm a little of the middle is there could be right and wrong in everything, you see. And you bring up a good point. I'm glad you did bring up this point, Jack, because that's my exact point. Is the problem is we're so right, we're so left. The left is right and the right is right, and they're right no matter what, and everyone else is wrong, period. But there's a ton of us in the middle that aren't all about that. And there's a ton of that in the middle that we're not all about that. We're about just being human and chatting and talking. And you know what? I can be wrong. You can be wrong. We can all be right and wrong. And it's not that big a deal. Nobody has to be called in. Nobody, no. And it's okay. It's just that's what we need to get past. And these aren't the people to do it. These are not the people to do it. And that's kind of the problem. These aren't the people. Like here, we wanted to know. Sorry, I got to do that. We wanted to know what Meghan Markle and what's his fucking face, the fake prince, the one who's not Charles's kid. Okay, the prince who's not Charles's kid. We were told what they thought. Isn't my hair crazy? Look at that. That is a bouffant. We as the world wanted to know what they thought. What monarchs, what people who still follow the king and queen ideal, who make money off of the tax-paying peasants. We cared what they thought. The guy who was born into, again, not even the real kid of Charles, but Diana's kid, who was born into royalty, and the woman who's with him. We cared what they think on this whole matter, and there's your problem. We care what people with millions and millions of dollars think on this whole matter, and there's your problem. See, it matters more what the people living on the streets, in the streets, at the streets care. LA will soon be without a police force thanks to Dickhead here. Thanks to Dickhead here, who wants to punish our police force, who has changed what they were doing. Thanks to Dickhead here, who wants to punish and take punitive action against our police force who wasn't in Minnesota or Minneapolis, rather than taking that money. And then he says he wants to donate it to the Black community. What Black community? Which one? Who in the Black community is going to get all this money? Are you giving it to Russell Simmons? Are you going to give Russell Simmons the money to then distribute through free phone cards and free credit and prepaid credit cards? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to give the money, Garcetti, to Russell Simmons? What? I don't know if Russell Simmons is alive. I think he died, actually. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is, what are you going to do? If you want to reinvest this money into the Black community, hire within Los Angeles, South Central, those areas, hire detectives, hire police, hire people to work at the parks for security and things like that. Hire people to make the neighborhoods safe by presence, not by attacking the people in the neighborhoods. Yeah, I think our police force, as bad as they are, and as many problems as I've had with them personally, they've come a far way, and they're not the main issue at the moment. Like, our police force, I think, has really worked on changing to some degree that why Garcetti found it necessary to take money from them and then give it to one group. What about the Cambodians? What about the Latin people living all over LA being treated like shit? What about them too? What about their community? Are you just giving it to the Black community? Can no Latin kids get anything from this? And again, this isn't about Black, this is about Eric Garcetti. This is about Eric Garcetti, and Tom brought that up, turning on our police force. See, as quick as I'll call Trump out for doing something stupid, I'll also call, as quick as I'll call Garcetti out all the time. When Trump does something stupid, I will call him out. And what he said about including George Floyd in his speech was stupid. That's that simple. I will go back to, though, immediately, like I say, what Eric Garcetti did to the police force and how he turned on his police force is insane. As the mayor, that was the worst thing I ever saw. I mean, like Villanueva, the sheriff and the police and LAPD, they weren't doing anything dickish. I mean, they're not good. I don't like them. I've been harassed by the police. My son says, because I was talking about, he goes, yeah, yeah, I know. He goes, like, I know the police are horrible, Dad. He goes, I've watched you be putting back cars constantly for doing nothing. I piss people off. I piss Jack off. I piss everybody off because I don't care. I speak my mind. I say what I want to say. I speak my truth. I see it as my truth. Unlike most of the world, I don't see my truth as the word of God. I don't see my ideas as the right of all right. I only see it as my truth, my thoughts, my right, my wrong, based on my ideas, my opinion. Everybody has opinion only. Fact is bullshit. Fact is what people agree upon. Other people don't agree upon. It's still opinion. You call it fact because, again, you've decided you're right. Everyone decides they're right. Tom, very good point. Yeah. I mean, right now he's like, no rubber bullet. Okay, again, I got to tell you, if rubber bullets are taking eyes and this and that, they're probably not good to shoot at protesters. But we have to understand all those piles of bricks and all that stuff and all those bottles and all the fire stuff got there somehow. If you don't think Eric Garcetti's behind a lot of this, if you don't think Gavin Newsom is behind a lot of this, you're completely unaware of what's really going on. I'm not completely convinced that Trump isn't in the middle of all this and that this isn't the most brilliant new world order plan. And I give Trump credit. If this is the case, he's a fucking genius. If he's done all this and created the new world order he originally wanted when he was a Democrat, fucking genius, man. Talk about a long-term plan. Talk about a man with a plan. If he's orchestrated all this, working with Gavin Newsom, working with Al Sharpton, working with Garcetti and Biden and everybody here and all these people, and working with Hillary and with Nancy to put on the whole parade, the whole show, the whole script. If he did all that, fucking man with the plan. I mean, the dude did it. It's sick. It's horrible. We're fucked. But holy shit. Imagine, because I said that years ago, back in 2016-ish, 15, 16, when he decided to run. I said he's a Trojan horse coming in as a Democrat to pretend to be a Republican because then he can win and get everybody to do whatever he wants, in that sense, control everything by looking like he's a Republican. I like Trump. I switched over and decided I liked Trump. I switched over and liked a lot of the things he was doing. Let me say it that way. I liked a lot of the things he was implementing. I liked the economy. I liked what was going on. Not for his immigration plan, but again, I'm for somebody who, if there's going to be a border, then make it strong. I agree with that. I don't believe in borders, but if you're going to do it, do it. I totally agree with that, Tom, but I'm saying like backhandedly. And Jack, take a little lesson from how Tom makes his argument. He has his point and he says it, and it's not like you're wrong, I'm right. Just something to consider. Because again, when people super hate one side, it's generally because similar actions. So Tom, you're right. I totally agree with that. I just think, holy shit, like this dude's like WrestleMania, you know, you're fired, the whole you're fired thing, the Apprentice or the university, everything he's done. Right. No. But isn't that kind of what's happening? Aren't the cities, New York and all these places, becoming disarmed? Well, Trump's like, no, it's not, you can't do it, and da-da-da. And they're like, we're going to do it. And it slowly keeps kind of happening. Didn't the National Guard get set up everywhere during COVID, really, though, before the riots? I had called it out. Look at the old podcast. I said they're coming into LA. The National Guards are sneaking into LA at night, behind Dodger Stadium through the train tracks. They're coming in and they're setting up. And I said it was weird. And now all of a sudden, then we have riots. Now they're set up. Now watch this. When we realize there's no money, when we realize there's no more real jobs, when we realize everything's getting automated and we're all fucked and stuck at home and everything's like, screw you, and a lot of things aren't going to really open, but they're going to be on TV and stuff. When we realize all this and we riot and we go crazy, the National Guard's already here and they're going to wipe us out. And we're not going to have guns and we're not going to have anything. And they're going to shut down our gun stores and everything. I know. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I agree. A lot of these people are bad. I'm just not sure I'm not sure 100% where Trump's really at on all this. And if the Republicans haven't been totally tricked. Because again, they didn't want Trump. If you remember, the Republicans didn't want Trump. He just kicked ass. He won. Against their wishes. He beat everyone. And so, yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Hillary's the worst thing in the world. These people, Pelosi, are garbage. I'm just saying, imagine if Trump pulled the ultimate usual suspects, the ultimate Kaiser, Sosa. He sat there telling us the whole story when it was him, the whole time, doing it all. But he told us the story that happened. He could Kaiser Sosa us so hardcore. Or he could be the badass I think he is. I'm okay with knowing I might be wrong. I might be wrong about Trump, and he might not be doing he might be backhanded, tricking everybody, which makes me right, but wrong, like in that sense. And that's all I'm saying. A lot of insanity. A lot of insanity in this world. Well, I think martial law is coming regardless. I think martial law is already the plan. Again, the conspiracists right now are talking about the whole thing was a setup. Never even happened. Like no one died. Like in that sense that the twin's not the twin. That's a conspiracy about it all. So imagine if that was true. All of it was done for martial law. That's the scary thing, And, anyway, that's my point, guys. I just want to share all that. It's a weird time. I mean, I'm going to tell you this. I'm far from your enemy. I'm a Jew with mixed kids. I'm a school teacher. Not anyone's enemy. And that's the problem in this world. A lot of people are telling you who your enemy is and this and that. Keep in mind, the lady who called the police on the black guy who asked her to leash her dog, which I agree with the dude 100%. And these people with their stupid dogs, you ask them to leash their dog, you ask them to, and they fucking flip out like the biggest cunts in the world. And they want to get so crazy. And if you beat the fuck out of them, that's what I mean. Anyone who gets mad because you ask them to leash their dog, which is the law, is a piece of shit. And they're generally these anti-Trump people who act just like Trump. That's the point. I'll do whatever I want, whenever I want. So anyway, he asked her to leash her dog. She calls the cops and says, black man's threatening her life. He never did, right? That same lady, a few years ago, I researched it. I got to get the picture. I couldn't fucking download the picture. It would not come through. She was Black Lives Matters hashtagging. She was hashtagging Black Lives Matters back when it was first in, years ago, when it came, I think it was Trayvon Martin or whatever. And it was the Michael dude. Anyway, she was hashtagging Black Lives Matters. The same lady, suburban cunt, who then was going to put a false arrest on a black man. You better wake up and realize that a lot of these people are the people that were calling the cops on you. People like me, we don't call the cops. I'm not afraid. Like I don't see a black person by my house or anything else and think, what could be going on? I don't think shit. When someone's by my house, I don't think anything. Like, I don't even think shit of anyone. Like, when someone wants to come in, I don't go, do you live here? I just assume they do, and I hold the door if I'm going in. Like, I don't know. I don't think of I don't think of that shit, And so I don't see that, and, I don't know. I mean, I think I think we're in a world where everybody needs to wake up, and all of us who don't care. I mean, that's all it is. Just, it's not that we don't care. It's just there's no thought to what somebody is. Just be a good human, if we're even that. You know, just be good. Just be good. And no, I know. It's suburban kind. It's men and women, and it's just like I say. It's the people who are like, it's the girl from the soccer girl. What's her name? The girl with the short hair, who wouldn't go to the White House to shake Trump's hand after the World Cup, but her own parents give money to Trump, support Trump. They're hardcore Republicans, anti-LGBTQ. But she sits down at Thanksgiving dinner with these people. She sits down at holidays. She took money and practice money and college money and everything else from these racist ass people. But then she's going to turn to her right and say, these people who are just like my parents are horrible and I hate them and they should die. Not my parents. They're lovely, even though they are racist and horrible and miserable. What's the soccer girl's name? I got to know because I want to call her out by name. Women's World Cup soccer team leader, short hair. Megan something. Megan something. What's this lady's girl's name? Megan Rapinoe. Megan Rapinoe grew up in Northern California, like Redding, California. She went to the rich town and played rich soccer. Her parents paid for her to pay. Her parents paid for her to play private soccer. She was on Republican racist ass money all the time. Everyone in her family is a fucking Republican racist. She refused to go meet Trump. But she's fine with sitting down with her family and then being fucking racist as shit. She's a lesbian. They're anti-LGBTQ, but she's cool with them because that's family. But she's willing to shut down everyone. She's willing to make everyone else on the soccer team not get to go to the White House because she had to speak out and say this, but she's not willing to stand up to her own family and protest and boycott them and their holidays and this and that, but they're racist as fuck. And she was fine taking their money and living in their house forever. This is the problem. This is who's out there marching with you. This is who is at the march, the homeless march, where everyone had their iPhones and their signs. Yeah, they totally paid her way. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's a fraud. People are frauds nonstop. It's ridiculous. And that's what I'm trying to say. These are the people out there protesting with you. These are the same type of men that were at the women's march. I'm not going to go to the women's march. You know why? Because I would never do anything against women. I totally support them. I support them every day of my life. I support men and women, but I support them equally. Equally. Everybody equally. I think all people are equal. I don't look at anybody as unequal. I don't look at anyone as different, and nobody, I hope, looks at me as that way and whatever. We're all just whatever we are. And the point I'm trying to make is, so I don't need to go to these marches and stuff. I don't need to do this. I'm good. I'm on track. My kids are on track. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I raise my children to see the world as the world, to judge people on their own personality and presence. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I don't need the people who want to go to these marches and they want to hang out. They want to just, no, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The protests were needed. What's happening is wrong. Black men are being killed at a ridiculous rate by the police. Men and women that are black are being mistreated, misarrested, falsified, lied upon, everything else by the police. This is happening. It does happen. Racism against black people is predominantly worldwide. But that's what people need to understand. See, in this country, everybody's come here, and they were the Irish. Meaning the Irish came here, and they had to do the worst jobs, the shittiest things. Everyone treated them like crap and underpaid them and ripped them off and fucked them over and everything else. And then they assimilated and they fucked over people. Okay, and then the next group came and they got fucked over. The Koreans, the Arabs, the Latins, the blah, 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 the Middle Eastern. Everybody came through because everyone came through. And they worked their way into a simulation. They got treated like shit. They got ripped off. The cops treated them like shit. The neighborhoods treated them like shit. Then they got their own neighborhoods. They treated other people like shit. The Germans came, they treated the Poles like shit. The Poles came and treated the Irish like shit. That's how it worked, right? The Koreans, the Japanese, everyone came, paid their dues. The black people in this country have never been allowed to be the Irish. They've never gotten to be the Irish. They, first of all, didn't come here. The majority of them didn't come here. They were forced to come here through slavery. They were brought here. So they weren't looking for a better life. They were forced to come to a place they didn't even know of. Then they were never given the chance, still to this day, to assimilate. They've never been compensated for slave labors given. They've never been, it's never been truly dealt with what went on and everything. And again, the only way to do reparations is you go to the neighborhoods that are predominantly Black, but also poor neighborhoods, and you lift them. That's how you do reparations. That's how you help people, because rich people, Black people who are rich, don't need reparations. They're good. It's for the low income, the people who truly are still suffering because of that. Now, that being said, so I fully get it. I fully get everything that's gone on. I fully understand why it's so important. But you have a ton of people out there with you that don't truly give a shit, that aren't behind you, that really don't. They're ponying for popularity. They're, again, keep in mind, man. Let me get it right. This guy decided who got to come on stage at Floyd's. You know who I love is Floyd's family. I gotta say that. They seem so badass. That whole family just seems so fucking great. And a strong family. I'm sorry, I love that family. I'm so jealous of that family. Like, that's the kind of family I wish I had. But Sharpton here got to decide who got to come on stage. Oh, Tiffany Haddish, because I insulted you earlier, you get to come on stage, and then you get to come on stage, and then Floyd's family can come on stage, and these people get, this person I picked, the privileged people get to come on stage. But you're not waking up to that. Nobody's waking up that you're following this guy still. This motherfucker who was part of killing Martin Luther King Jr. You're still listening to this motherfucker still gets the, first of all, I don't know, why is he being played by Cat Williams? First of all, I don't even get that. The simple, I can't get over how much he looks like an old Cat Williams. I love Cat Williams, by the way. The point being is, why are you still listening to this guy? Why is he relevant? Why is he relevant, or he relevant, or he relevant? Wait, he relevant? Why are their opinions relevant? Right here, where are they? Why are their opinions relevant in something concerning predominantly poor people, majority Black people? Why are these people's opinions matter? Sharpton is so far removed from anything. He's the worst human ever. We have to start over. Yeah, you're right. That's all it is, Tom. That's exactly it. And the fact is, we have to start over. If we don't start over, we're never going to get better. The whole thing is, hate has to end. All of us that aren't celebrities, that aren't needing promotion, that aren't needing publicity, that aren't have a certain reason for being in this, we can just stop. We can just stop. It's that simple. We can just stop. Stop calling police on people because of how they look. Stop hating people because you think they hate you because of their skin color. You see, stop looking at me because of this. Wait, sorry, not my tattoo. Tattoo's comedy drama because I'm a comedian. Because of my skin color, stop looking at that and assuming who I am. Because then when you find out that I'm 100% Jewish, I'm a school teacher, I'm bilingual, I'm the father of mixed children who are Jewish and Black, Haitian, and Greek. I have 2 different marriages. But when you start finding all that, stop assuming that. Also, stop assuming somebody's doing something because of their skin color. Stop assuming you've been through things because of your skin color, and stop assuming someone that you haven't been through things. Stop the assumptions. If we just stop the assumptions, and we just talk to one another, and we say hi to one another, and we stop us suspecting one another, help one another. We're all in the same boat, not the rich. I'm talking about us, the working class, the working poor, the homeless. We're in the same boat. We got to start rowing together. We got to stop rowing their yachts and start rowing our own boats and doing our own thing. Anyway, that's what I'm going to say. If I made you mad, then I've done my job. I'm the middle. I'm not here to appease anyone on the right or anyone on the left. I'm here to say what I think, and it's always going to vary. And it's going to be based solely on what I think, not on how I was brought up or who I support. That's how I go. I feel like, and I'm going to say this again, I feel Trump really picked a bad time to include George Floyd in that whole thing. And I think he should say that that was probably a mistake to do. Even if he meant it as the protests and stuff, he said it during the economy, and he should fix it. I expect more from him. That's all. Guys, be safe, and remember, my dick's big.